Let's go.
All right. I guess I'm recording. I am recording. All right. So Jerry Bierman here with Alluring Glass with my buddy Jeffrey Barbour, the Alluring Glass. Day 2 of our Jeff's Healthy at Home.
Yep.
I'm
Doing
lonely.
good.
Lonely and
Doing
lonely.
well.
Yeah, you look good. All right. So this is a shower that you picked up. Why'd you pick this shower, Jeff? What strikes you about this? Again,
Well,
sorry. Let me re-engineer this. You're going into a client's house. You template. You've been templating for a dozen years. You go into the house before the glass. So you're actually templating for the glass. You would walk into this space and you have a customer with you or a contractor. And how are you advising them? What do you recognize about this space, and how are you advising them to have glass applied?
well, in this particular application, it's really interesting because we have a lot of showers to choose from. But when I saw this one, I thought, wow, this has a lot of stuff going on, and that I mean, we do a lot. We do smaller showers in this. We do bigger showers in this. But when I walk into this type of environment, it's a very small bathroom, but they did an amazing job of turning this small dinky space into really, I think, a fancy, luxurious type of atmosphere. And so, first of all, I look and I see again the craftsmanship is out of this world. It's just solid, and they put so many items in here. I always look at the height in this particular situation. This one comes in right at the 75-inch mark. That's the standard height, our most typical height. But I have to, first of all, confirm what they want. And in this particular case, they wanted a frameless application. A lot of people in this application, Jerry, will say, I don't really have enough room for a swing door, but because they think the toilet's right there, it's just going to be in the way. But the reality of this particular unit, the door swings in and out. And so they do have enough space for a door, and they can get away from the frame that a traditional slider brings in. So, I think these people wanted a frameless to begin with, but sometimes I go in and they'll say, we can't do anything but a slider. It's too small. But the reality of it is they can do more than a slider. And in this case, this fits well for the area. The door we have to make sure immediately the door swing doesn't hit the toilet. In this case, that's a 28-inch door. When it opens out, it misses the toilet still by a couple inches, which is a safe distance. That will never be an issue. But just noticing, again, the craftsmanship. There are some challenges a little bit that I have to share with them. And I can go into those if you'd like, or if you have another question.
No, go ahead. What are some of the challenges that you see?
Well, the first thing that I see that when I look at this that concerns me, but it's not a deal breaker, we just have to explain it to the homeowner, is that bench is there. And that bench it's an awesome bench. It's gonna seat most anybody. But when that door does swing in, it's going to come in contact with that bench.
Mm-hmm.
And as you and I know, I guess most people in the glass industry knows that tempered glass is very durable. I think we should repost that video that we talked about yesterday, where you and Dakota stood on that door and it bent like 6 inches and you were bouncing up and down on it.
Yeah.
But the door itself is very sturdy, very strong in the middle. You could take a hammer in the middle of that door and hit it, and the hammer will bounce off. But you take a hammer and you tap it right on the edge of that glass, and that glass can explode, and probably would explode into a billion pieces. And so the edge of that glass door, when it swings in, is going to come in contact with that bench. So I immediately just tell people that. I said that's not a deal breaker. I ask them, is this going to have a lot of little kids around it, or is it just going to be adults only? And typically in these cases, explaining it like that, they understand. And then if they do have children, I recommend that we put a clear rubber bumper, either on the bench or on the door. And typically we'll leave a few extra ones of those because they're just really kind of stick-ons, but they stick on really well. But over time, they probably would come off. But most people will say, well, we'll just swing the door out. and that's fine too, except that it's a benefit to have a door swinging in. When they finish their shower, they turn their water off, back into the corner close to the water, pull the door in and step out, and the door never has to drip out there. With all that said, they have to be concerned about that bench. It's a great asset for the user of the shower, but it's also has to be kept in mind for safety purposes.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about this the other day. If kids are going to be in there and if they've got the intent to destroy things, they can destroy this and they can destroy the rest of your house too. So looking at the space, things you can't ask clients, but if you're standing next to them, you could see as far as the width of me and, could I, am I thin enough that I could push the door in and still make it through the space to get to the controls? And so, I mean, not that you would ask somebody that, but if you're face to face with them, you might say, obviously you're going to want to use this door, just pulling it out. But you could, my wife could certainly push it in and she wouldn't have any problem navigating that. The doors are so heavy. They're like, they're not heavy that it takes a lot of physical strength to move them, but they don't just fly open like a piece of paper. I mean, they are solid. For you to, I mean, if you would have to throw that door into that bench to get it there. I mean, it's still really heavy. I love
it. Is.
Go ahead.
It is heavy, and I tell them too that you're right. It's only going to be moved by the user, and when our guys leave after the install, part of their job is to make sure that door lines up with the stationary panel, and that door will not swing towards that bench on its own. So as long as the homeowner understands that the seriousness of that door hitting that bench, even the slight little bit at times, they should be fine. And pulling that door in to get out, they should be fine. They're going to be under control. Typically, unless the person is just, really good size, they're going to be able to squeeze in and out if they pull the door in.
Yeah. Yeah. I also noticed the decorative chair rail. Whoever installed this was wise enough to hold it short of the glass. If you look on the right side, I love the decorative element. If you look at the right side and the left side, whoever did this knew that glass was coming and they held it short, which was smart.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people don't like to do that because they think it looks different, or I don't know if weird's the word, but they don't like the way they think it's not going to look good unless they take it all the way out. And they're looking at it when the tiler, the craftsman's doing the work, and they're going, no, it doesn't look right. But when you put a piece of glass up there, it makes sense. Stop it. But if it's not stopped, and this is stopped, and it is nice looking, we, on the right side of that panel, we would grind the pencil tile that sticks out, and we would slip the panel into the space that we grind out. And then over on the left side where the door hinges, that gap between the wall and the door is actually about 3/8 to 7/16. And that tile would not stick out. Typically, we don't have to grind the door side unless it sticks really far out. But yeah, that was the person that did that. That's another thing, right when you walk in, when I see it, because that's just one less thing that we have to be concerned about, that the contractor was concerned about, and we really do appreciate that. But again, if we have to grind something, we will grind it.
Tell me, is that the trim around the window? Is that tile or is that wood? Do you know?
That particular one, I believe, is wood. Now, I didn't touch it. There is tile that looks like wood.
Yeah.
I think I remember that. I think it is wood, and it's a pretty deep shower comparative, and it's up high enough where it's probably not going to get too much moisture, except for just moisture in the air. But I remember looking out the window. It's a pretty neat backyard too, but it kind of looks like a TV. Maybe we could put a TV in there, Jared.
Well, yeah. Would you be concerned about the wood in there, short term, long term?
Oh, probably very long term, but if it's treated the right way,
yeah.
I mean, it's treated.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Actually, if you look at that is a window that cranks out, I believe, as well.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I also like the fact, I don't know if these folks are aging in place. I'm 53. You're much older than I am. And so the grab bar next to the seat is really smart. And I think it looks tactful. I like it. Um, I could, I could definitely use that to help myself get up and down. Uh, and I like the wand. I like the wand. I like the showers that are the wand handheld.
Yep. That's and that is a combination. Yeah, that's a combination um, shower head that is on the hose. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they have it separate. A lot of them do have it separate, but I believe that one looks like it's all.
Hmm.
Although they have two valves, I don't know. It's hard to see exactly, but yeah,
We,
look at that. That's just they got the grab bar in there, the niche. But the other thing I'd like to talk about is the a towel bar.
yeah,
A lot of people want a towel bar because, especially in a small bathroom, in this particular situation, the towel bar could go right outside the door, but if you swing in the door out, the door will come in contact with the towel bar, which won't hurt the door. Probably wouldn't
say
hurt
that
the
again.
towel bar.
Say that again.
If somebody puts a towel bar on the drywall right outside the door,
Yeah.
that door it will hit the towel bar eventually, unless they put it really far away. And it also, if it hits it too hard, pushes too hard or too often, it's going to cave in the drywall right there.
So
So
I don't know if this will come up on the video, but I've got my mouse showing the side wall to the left of the shower, the dry wall. That would be a very normal place for somebody to put a towel bar and hang their towel. So what you're saying is that depending on the location of that, you'd have to consider when you pull the door outward, you're eventually going to bump into the towel bar.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Now,
Good.
if you look at this, if you look at that, that's called a towel bar pull combo, Pull, a towel bar pull combo. It's got a towel bar
On the door.
that's horizontal and it's on the door, and then it's got a handle that's vertical, and it's three holes that come into play there. Now, this particular one, the homeowner chose to have the vertical handle on the outside. A
Yeah.
lot of people choose to do the vertical handle on the inside to
Yeah.
have the towel hanging on the outside. Um, I don't know, I don't know. It's none of my business why they want to do that, but we can do it either way. Most people will have the towel bar on the outside with the handle on the inside. And some people will even do a back-to-back towel bar for the pool in that situation. But in this case, you might say, why is that towel bar so small compared to the door? And the reason being is if that towel bar was longer towards the wall that the hinges are on, when that door opened in, the towel bar would hit the wall and the door could not open all the way. And that would cause a binding in the
Yeah.
hinges.
Yeah.
And it could be hazardous. I mean, it would take some really hard pressure to do something. But so that particular towel bar is probably a 20-inch towel bar. And that's kind of standard for a 28-inch door. You have 2 inches from the edge of the glass to the handle, and then you have a 20-inch towel bar. Then you have about 6 inches left over there in between the edge of the towel bar and the hinge wall.
It's really a stupid question. In hindsight, why would they want, what do you think that is, an 18-inch towel bar inside the shower door?
I think it's about a 20-inch.
Why would you want a 20-inch towel bar inside the shower?
Well, some people will, when they get finished, they don't want their towel hanging outside the shower, but so they hang it in there, and it's going to dry in there. The reason, there's a lot of stuff we can talk about on this, but I encourage people when they have any type of swinging door the door that swings in, to when they finish with their shower, that they push the door in and leave it open to air
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can hang bathing suits on there if there were wet bathing suits, or you had delicates that you wanted to dry in your shower. You could hang them on there. Washcloths is another thing.
Yeah.
But typically the towel bar is on the outside. The one thing that through this conversation somebody might be wondering is why didn't we just put a towel bar on the panel? which we can do, and we do at times. We have other
Mm.
pictures we could probably pull up and show that, but one of the reasons this is kind of, it's not a delicate topic, but it's pretty factual. We deal with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, if you put a towel bar next to that toilet right there, um, to say it as gracefully as possible, you know,
When I pee,
when men pee,
yeah,
they keep standing up, and the
yeah,
splash and everything, it just
yeah,
isn't overly sanitary. So we just don't recommend putting a towel bar right next to the toilet for that reason. Now, if
no,
somebody says, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that, we will, because there's nothing against it in code wise, but
no,
that's one of the reasons that we
yeah.
wouldn't.
And you being a trusted advisor, one of the reasons they hire you is because you're a trusted advisor. And so one of my concerns looking at the space, if they were discerning enough to put a grab bar in the shower, then one of my concerns with a towel bar on the glass next to the commode would be the tendency to use it as a grab bar. And clearly, towel bars on glass are not designed to be a grab bar. Now, can I hold on to the handle and would it support me if I was wobbly? Yes. But is it designed to hold I'm 205 pounds. Is it designed to hold a 205-pound guy up? No, it's not. Which, by the way, one of the things that I found interesting about code when I got into this business is frameless doors have to be operable outward. So if there was an emergency inside the space, like you see the commode to the right, that door has to clear that commode, pulling it outward by code. Because if you had a medical emergency inside the shower, the emergency personnel wouldn't be able to get to you if you were blocking the door. So anyway, that's something else that I learned. And you shared this yesterday. You shared this yesterday with the pitch. Um, you know, contractors work in homes where people live. So that looks like it looks to be a solid surface cap on top of the curb. And you advised yesterday an 1/8 to 3/16 inward pitch from the outside to the inside. I think, and you use a torpedo level. I think it's wise to double check that. I do believe that contractors put a healthy pitch on that of, an 1/8 inch or 3/16. And then if the homeowner, is curious as to the work that was done today and they walk in and step on the curb, unbeknownst to them or the tile guy, you just went from a 1/8 or 3/16 pitch inward with the weight of your foot. Now all of a sudden you're an 1/8 or 3/16 outward. And now if water gets on that curb, you're going to have a problem. So those are good reminders that you shared yesterday with us also.
Yeah, big problems, because I don't know what that whole remodel would have cost, but it's thousands of dollars. I mean, it's
Yeah.
thousands of dollars, and to have a water issue after you spend that kind of money,
Yeah.
it's not acceptable. And so it's a very delicate issue. If I walk in and I can typically see, after all the experience I've had, I can see if a curb's sloping the wrong way. And that's a tough conversation to have, but there's
Yeah.
times I have to, because I know they're going to not want water coming out of that shower. And
Mhm.
so there's ways we can counteract it, but the best way is for the contractor or the tiler to make sure it slopes in.
Yeah.
And as you said, some of them, I do see a lot of them now, they put signs on there saying no step, no step, because you're right, one little bit of pressure can ruin a project like that. And
Yeah.
it can be expensive to pull that off and to redo it as well.
For sure. Yeah. That's good. Anything else you'd like to mention about this shower?
Um, well, we talked about the bench. The niche is a good distance away.
Yeah.
Again, they're putting it in the center. It looks nice there. You're going to get 3 or 4 bottles in there. If it protects the stuff that's in there. Some people might even if they wear glasses, they might set their glasses there.
Yeah.
But whoever, I cannot remember exactly who designed this, but they did they offered put everything in there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a tight shower.
Yeah. It's attractive to the eyes and it's very functional. I mean, it's well designed. It's good function. Yeah. It looks good and it's got a high degree of functionality. That's good.
And you see that the last thing I'll show, that it's not a big deal, but that care card that's hanging on the handle, that's what it is. It's called, we call it a care card. It's
Yeah.
a living glass. The installers put that on. It has our phone number on it for any issues that you would have. It tells you what to do with how to clean your glass, how not to clean your glass.
Yeah.
It explains some of the just very basics, but it's important too, because a lot of times the homeowner, sometimes we don't even talk to the homeowner. But I will just remind them somehow, the contractor, to let them know that when that care card's on there, not to pull it off and throw it away, but to keep it, is it has our phone number on it. And they can call the contractor if something goes wrong, but the reality of it is Alluring Glass is responsible for any of the warranty work if there is a desire for that. And so the care card's a nice little touch, and it's something that helps the homeowner understand better how to care for their glass.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, that's a good stopping point for us today. Thank you, Jeff Barber.
Thank you, Mr. Bierman.
All right, so I got that stopped. I want to jump on a call with you and Mark Minnie, if I can, to walk him through what I'm doing with you. And what am I doing here?
He was, well, I don't know. He had a lot of, I was going to help him